February. Couldn't get my words out. I was going to say happy Friday. Happy February. I hope everyone is doing well going into month 2 of 2024. For me, January was really intense. I was saying to a friend of mine the other day that 2024 came and said, Dawn, ready or not, I'm here. For me, it kind of always takes a few weeks for me to get back into the swing of things. It's just a bit shell-shocking coming out of the Christmas and the New Year's fuss and the party atmosphere into Zoom calls and training days and the absolute freezing cold that we had in the UK in January. So I posted about a week or so ago that I was going to talk in particular to black and brown professional women about where to start this year. So if you are feeling a bit shell-shocked like me, perhaps your professional year didn't end all that well, or you hadn't achieved the goals that you set, maybe you are a little lost with all this 2024 is my year talk that we see around us, and not sure what you really want to do, if you want to do anything at all. But before I get into helping you with your beginnings this year, I just want to encourage you that if the January productivity buzz didn't quite hit home with you as much as you would have liked, that there may be a viable explanation. So I saw an Instagram post a couple of weeks back and where someone was talking about January not energetically feeling like the first month of the year. They said that March feels more like the beginning of things with all of the newness of spring, and that possibly nature had its own calendar. And if it had its own calendar, January would be the equivalent of November. It's dark, it's freezing. It definitely makes me feel like being under my duvet or on the settee with a hot chocolate. So what the video went on to say was, if energetically going 100% in on goals in the first couple of months of the new year feels counterintuitive to you, then like Mother Nature, you should use this time to incubate seeds for harvest in springtime, which I thought was a really great analogy. So for me personally, this means I normally recalibrate. In January, I normally plan, I prepare, and I start to speak to new clients, poke my head a little bit above the parapet. Yes, I am working, and I have already been in businesses and schools, training and speaking at corporates and online this year. But it's very gentle, it's very relaxed, and the real stuff starts in about March for me. And actually, this March is a bumper month because first of all, it's International Women's Month. And secondly, the 2024 cohort of my Rise Above Leadership Development Programme for Black and Brown Women begins, but we will talk about that another time. So sometimes, because of the time of year or whatever it is, we can feel pushed to do something, anything right now, without there being a real basis or a plan of what that means. So in the corporate world, your business as usual, your day-to-day work in your employed role, it continues as normal, but you may be feeling right now like you're supposed to be doing extra to show and to prove yourself or to give you a jump start to perhaps other opportunities or promotions within your organization this year. So I always say that there is no point just doing stuff. You may feel a sense of productivity, but unless it's targeted, unless there's a strategy behind it, as the song says, we are just busy doing nothing, working the whole day through. So how can you begin without overwhelm and with some sort of structure? So in my next few videos, I'm going to share with you a couple of baby steps that you can use to begin if you're a leader looking to go into or further your career this year. These are not big, grand actions. We'll get into those in the coming months. But these are just 3 simple strategies that you can do at your own pace to start planting those seeds for harvest. So to give you the heads up, here's what I will be sharing with you over the next 3 videos. So number 1, is I'm going to show you how to get your baseline. So how to assess where you are now so that rather than overwhelm, you can look for just the next logical step above your baseline. Number 2, I'm going to be sharing what is your personal and professional brand. So why and how to start to look at your personal, your professional brand in the same way that a company looks at their business brand. So how do you show up to begin? And number 3, I'm going to show you how to plan for your career this year if you are feeling a little bit lost. So this one has been a bit of a long one, but I'm hoping that it's been helpful for you to put the new year hype into perspective. And I look forward to sharing my 3 tips for starting without overwhelm. See you soon, guys.